They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Damn, they know like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like in the chokehold. I be out on a late night. Opposite a play fight. See sign break night. This break night. My wristwatch is like a break light. And you can get it right on your gravesite. So tell me something I don't know. $50 pizza when I'm eating in Soho. I heard that you in love with the stuff in your hate me, they hate me. What should I do? Keep getting money. It's funny, I was just like you. Super Bowl Sunday. With the facts. Security guard told Kevin Hart to relax. Oh! Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop whole game in the chokehold. Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop whole game in the chokehold. I reinvented myself. They sort of hated it.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Tonight, the preseason draws to a close with a good matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Seattle Seahawks. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now a first carry for Isaiah Crowell. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Come on, let's go.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
And shedding through the tackle. And here a juke. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st down, Carr. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Yeah, this is a true fan favorite here in the Northwest, Marshawn Lynch. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on right in Churchill's surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A Raider 1st down as Carr finds Cooper. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. 1st and 10. Here's Carr. Smith catches left side. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well. Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
On 3rd down, they go Lynch. Lynch fighting. He fumbles. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the game.
After review of the play, the running on the field is reversed.
On now, it's Blair Walsh as he'll try the field goal here. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A good pickup there, 26 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. It's caught right side, Dixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
A 1st down carry now for Crowell. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
On 2nd down, here's Crowell. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a handoff to Crowell. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry.
Especially in the second half. When you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now Hundley. This will be his first throw off the bench. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now the backup, A.J. McCarron. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. Frank Clark in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
McCarron following the sack. He leads his guys up on 3rd and long. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And that is incomplete. By the way, as we expected, most of the starting units out here in the 2nd quarter. So get your 2 deep, your 3 deep, your 4 deep ready for this one.
If you have a particular favorite who wasn't a high draft pick or is an undrafted free agent trying to make the team, this is the time to watch him play and give it his best shot. Because most of the starters, you're exactly right, they'll be out of the game watching the rest of the way.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Here we go.
They run it with Carson. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Hundley. And able to find Decker. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. He's going deep for Brown. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Hey, a sidebar worth noting is that preseason cuts have changed. So week 3 that we're in right now, the preseason, I think, what did you say, the roster's going to stay at 90 instead of going down to 75 this year?
That's exactly right, Brandon, because in the past, just what you said, this game here, at the end of week 3, or game 3, you would cut the roster down to 75 and play game 4 just like that. In this case now, though, they're going to be able to keep guys all the way through. So guys who would normally not have a chance to finish out the preseason, they'll get that chance now and get more opportunities to get on tape.
Turns out,
partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Let's go! Brand 38!
Now it's Carson. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
The reason that counter and misdirection plays work so well is that usually you've given them a reason to think that everything's going to the direction it starts initially. You've run that type of a play throughout the game. You've given them that look, and now you're going to counter things and bring it back the other way. Almost a tendency breaker at times. And a lot of it is making sure that you have an illusion, almost like a magician. Look over here. But the play is actually happening over there, and that's where a running back's vision comes into play. See the hole in a place where people don't expect and get there with some speed. And that's exactly what he did on that play.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Hey, come on, let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
Throwing, Hundley. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A good pick up there at 20 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop him.
Now a shotgun snap as they look to throw. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Kyle Wilbur coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Back to throw. The quick slant caught. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And for the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Janikowski bangs it through, and they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
McCarron to throw on 2nd down. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. McCarron. He completes it to Bryant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, they stopped him shy of the marker, thought they were bringing up 4th down, and then that penalty.
Let's face it, they thought they had bent, but could absorb that, right? Instead, they broke as a result of their own penalty.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for McCarron, and his throw's going to be incomplete. The tight end, Lee Smith, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 35. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field.
Let's go!
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Being chased out left. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. You sure you're ready for the 3rd quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? All right, cool. Let's go. So we are halfway through here in the final week of the preseason. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. If you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he finds a man. It's Martin. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here we go. 3-19.
Throwing on first. Here's McCarron. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
They give to Martin. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Going deep here for Bryant. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. Deep ball, short ball, that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game.
Come on, let's go.
Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
His throw incomplete. Eric Decker was the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter, because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
They'll drop the throw. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And he's got Decker, left side. And he will get the first down as he's up to the 20-yard line. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Back to throw here. And Decker's got it. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy. He came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
This is Carson. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now the rookie first-rounder from San Diego State, it's Rashad Penny. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
They'll look to throw here. To Decker over the middle. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. So nursing a slim lead, and that is the opposite of protecting that slim lead.
All I can think here is that head coach, he knows more about what's going on with his team than we do. He must know something's up. Either he has trouble with his punter, right? He's worried about his defense. There's an explanation in there that we're going to ask for after the game, because in this situation, I wouldn't have done that in normal circumstances, but maybe he thought my best opportunity is with my offense.
Yeah, interesting. Back in their own territory. Now we'll see what transpires.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
Now McCarron throwing on second. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Bryant.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point, just a field goal. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Here we go now.
Working from the gun here, McCarron. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Set. 3-19.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's McCarron. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Set. Blue line it.
They'll run it. Here's Martin. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the fourth.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
He'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Eric Decker, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He'll buy some time right. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. Well, you got a young quarterback. You know, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Here's Carson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. On the stop that time, Frosty Rucker. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game, because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Staying on his feet. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Shalik Calhoun able to get outside the numbers and drop him for a loss of a yard.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game-tied fourth quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of time the analytics tell you to go for it, right? But do the analytics take into account game situation, where we are, all those things? In this situation, I thought it was an incredibly aggressive play.
It didn't work out, and again, tie game fourth quarter makes this thing a little bit more interesting.
All right, here we go.
On second down, Martin. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Raider first.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Following the penalty, Martin. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And off comes to Martin. And some room to work. There goes Doug Martin. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Doug Martin, 49 yards. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do and the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Decker. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. He got 29 yards that time. They'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Jaron Brown, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. who's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Here's Martin as they begin on the ground. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. 3, 9.
They run it again with Martin. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Martin. Fighting off the defender. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
This is brought in at the 21. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Out is Brett Hundley and the rest of the offense as they'll take over here. So the situation very simple here. Late game, down 7. They've got to get it in the end zone.
And the best players know how to be calm in these situations, because you know right now his pulse is like a jackhammer. So how does he rein it in, make sure the team has a little bit of calm, coupled with that sense of urgency? Got to walk that line a little bit.
That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory.
Pushing a foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Back to throw. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the 4th. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for 2 and decide it right now.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Again, it's Martin. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit, but how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Michael Kendricks in from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure.
And that pressure gets to him again. Frank Clark in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
McCarron following the sack. He leads his guys up on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's McCarron. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And a 1st and goal coming up here inside the 10-yard line. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Barton, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. He'll get it up the middle. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. And that carry probably not so much for yardage, just to get the spot that you want to kick the field goal.
And then the yardage game there is really kind of gravy, and this just becomes what my old coach used to say. Get into position to be in position. And that's what they want, the right spot for their kicker to line up the field goal.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. All right, well, they didn't kick it on 2nd down, now 3rd and goal. You have to kick it here.
Absolutely have to kick it because if you get a bad snap, you fall on it, you got a chance to kick it again on 4th down. Let's say it gets blocked and it's behind the line of scrimmage. You fall on it, you get another chance at it. Give yourself that option. Give yourself that opening.
Now Hundley. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. And he got it! The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance,